In the United States, one of the largest topics debated by not only citizens, but by government officials is the idea of same-sex marriage. How would you feel if you finally found the person that you wanted to spend your life with, that you want to have a family with, and celebrate your love with, but the government told you that you weren't allowed to? This is how homosexuals across America feel every day. Our founding father, Thomas Jefferson, once said that there should be a separation between church and state. That means that while people have the right to practice their own beliefs, those beliefs should not be influential to decisions made in the government. And I agree with that pretty much 100%. What do you guys think?
I think the opinions go to the people.
I agree. I think people have the right to do whatever they want.
I think that the country was founded on God and it should stay that way.
To cite the Constitution once again, the 14th Amendment states, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process. That being said, it seems to me that every individual has the right to live the way they want to and make the decisions that they want to, if it makes them happy, as long as it doesn't go against any laws. But how did all of you interpret it?
I think if you go that way, then you could also say that pedophilia is okay, because that's somebody else's happiness. That's their pursuit of happiness. And then if you interpret the law that way, then that allows people to rape people and harm children because that's what they enjoy and that's their sexual preference, and that would be okay also.
Yeah, you just totally went against all of that. He said as long as it makes them happy and it's not breaking any laws.
Well, that makes the pedophilia happy.
But it breaks laws.
But it breaks laws.
But
there's no
gay
laws
marriage,
against gay marriage yet.
There's laws against sodomy still on the books today.
But you can't be put in jail because of sodomy.
Yeah.
You used to be able to. They've softened what they do to that. People used to be killed and murdered and stoned to death.
Used to be.
This is America.
We're talking about currently.
But the law's still on the books.
20th century, 21st century.
The law's still there.
Well, but it's not nearly as enforced as it was back then.
Okay, so then the next thing would be to allow pedophilia to go softer on those people.
That's different because that's one person and one person not consenting to that, and that's just completely wrong. This is two people that love each other and care about each other and want to be together. That's completely different. You cannot compare the two.
I just say where do you draw boundaries? Where do you draw the line?
The age of consent. 16.
Okay. Having discussed some of the amendments of the Constitution, I'd like to move on to giving same-sex couples the ability of adoption. So, if they were able to get married, same-sex couples, it would make adoption a lot easier for them, because most states say that they cannot adopt a child unless they are married. So, the legalization of same-sex marriage would surely broaden the amount of states that would allow same-sex couples to adopt. Now, some reasons why it could be beneficial are it would give many children that don't have stable and good homes that they would have. And also, the child would grow up knowing that everyone is the same, and just because people of the same sex choose to be together, that doesn't mean that they should be treated any differently. Now, some of the bad factors that I found were, throughout my research, I found 3 reoccurring reasons why people do not support same-sex marriage and adoption. The first one being, a child is better off with one mother and one father. The second being, gay men should not be allowed to adopt because, statistically speaking, gay men are more likely to be child molesters. The third reason being, children who grow up in a same-sex home are more likely to be gay. Now that you've heard some information on both sides, how do you guys feel about the topic?
The part about the children ending up being gay doesn't really matter if it's legal. They can be who they want to be.
Those are just people's opinions and how they feel about it. And it's completely different from someone else's point of view, from the gay person's point of view. They might want to raise a kid to be like whatever he wants to be, and It's not forcing them to be gay.
I don't think that a gay couple would necessarily force a child to be gay, and I don't think that they would, that two gay married men or two gay men, period, would end up being pedophiles. So I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's. I think the statistic needs to be relooked at because I think it may be wrong. It could be
ones that I found.
It could be certain numbers that people looked at and they didn't do a whole broad search on that area. But I think that part's incorrect.
Legalizing same-sex marriage could potentially be a huge step in achieving some sort of world peace, or it could increase the conflict. Do you think it's worth the risk to legalize it?
I think it's worth it. I mean, if you look at other countries like Russia, it is illegal to be gay over there. You will get put in jail if you are any sort of gay whatsoever. And if they made it legal in countries like that, it would definitely affect the crime rate there and would affect the country and how it's run.
I was raised in a Christian home. I don't believe that way. I don't know what else to say, but I have a gay cousin. I love him dearly. I don't agree with his sexual preferences, but there's nothing I can do about it. That's his choice.
Your view?
No.
No what?
Alright, and that concludes my speech. Thank you guys.
Good job.